let's start from the beginning. Tell me about your upbringing. Born in Brazil.
Born in Brazil.
Let me try the pronunciation of your name. Thais.
It's perfect.
Born in Brazil. Tell me about your upbringing and how it made you into the person that you are today.
It's a deep question to answer in one answer, but I would say that I come from a very disciplined family that taught me that nothing comes for free. Everything you need to have discipline and sweat. My parents are my big inspiration in life. They are very hard workers and they gave me many opportunities to be where I am, but they also taught me the value of the hard work, the value of treating people well, the value of knowing new places and new cultures. And what I say is that my parents gave me the privilege of having a similar upbringing. I'm the younger child out of 3. I have 2 older brothers, and they always gave me the privilege of the same privilege that they gave to my man brothers. I always had access to lots of books. I always had access to learning languages, learn new cultures. So I think that's really where it was important for the person that I became today.
Tell me about your parents. You've spoken about them and the value of hard work. What did they do? What did your dad do? What did your mom do?
My dad is a doctor. He's a pediatrician.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Still in Brazil?
Still in Brazil. Yeah. He came from a very poor family, but he made his way up through a lot of study. So he studied really hard, got into the best university, then got into one of the best hospitals in Brazil, and he became one of the super good and important pediatricians in the country. I've seen him working a lot when I was a child, but always when he was present with me, it was doing something fun, something nice. We traveled a lot when I was young, and my biggest good memory with my dad is of him reading to me when I was a little kid, which made me have this passion of reading that I learned with him.
Okay.
And my mom, she graduated in geography. She worked for a government company. She worked. She didn't stay. She wasn't staying home. She worked, but she didn't have as much as a big job as my dad.
Yeah.
So she was the one that taught us all the values and discipline and everything that we had. She always told me when we were young, we had to study a lot and work hard. So this all comes from them. And then, what other thing that I would say helped me to the person that I am, I started competitive sports when I was very young.
Okay.
When I was 11. I started platform diver. I actually started to be a gymnast when I was 6. So working, practicing 6 times a week, every day, which really helped me to be
disciplined.
Yeah, but also think about long term, have a clear objective. And I think most importantly, knowing the importance of working in a team, collaboration, long-term view, being brave, have courage.
Yeah. Competitive sports are so powerful for young kids, eh? Because they help them really there's so many lessons that you can learn from competitive sports. Good to know that. São Paulo, are you from, what city are you from?
São Paulo,
São Paulo,
born in São Paulo.
Cool. So you've just told me you've just come from New York.
Just came from New York.
You started in January.
In
this new role, but you've been in the AB InBev system. Tell me about your adjustment and what did you see when you first came to Zambia, and then tell me about that adjustment. What's that been like for you?
I always say that's the answer. So who has seen me doing a couple of speeches here and there, the keynote, I always say the same thing, and it was true in the first day, and it's true now, 9 months later. The best part of Zambia are the Zambians. Nothing better than the Zambians.
Yeah.
I think that's the first impression that I got when I got here. Zambians are so solicit, so nice, always willing to help, always willing to take the next step to make you feel happy, always smiling, so friendly. And I think this is like a big lesson that we all in the world need to learn from Zambians.
What has been your most memorable experience so far?
Most memorable experience. I think it's been 9 months, but it's been like I've been here for 3 years.
Yeah.
I think in terms of my personal life, I would say my first time that I went to Livingston. I am Catholic, I'm religious. When I was there, seeing the power of the falls and the double rainbow raising in the morning, it's like I felt the touch of the hand of God, like saying, man, for sure, this was something that, this is such a special place. It's such a warm and powerful place.
Did you go to the falls in the morning?
I go to the falls in the morning that you see the double rainbow, so beautiful. And I went in the afternoon as well. Both are super
Did you do the Devil's Pool?
I haven't done yet, because I was always kind of working when I went, but I want to do it.
Okay. I had a glance at your profile in the research.
Okay.
I see that you had a stint in banking, Goldman Sachs.
Goldman Sachs.
And then you did a summer internship.
Yeah.
Which led to where you are now. Tell me a little bit about Goldman Sachs and then your transition from banking. I think you're an investment
banking, yeah.
So how did you move from there to selling beer?
So the reason that I started investment banking when I did my college in business was because I really always loved the math and the financial world. So I wanted to get into the deeps of it, and I had the privilege to work in one of the most relevant investment banks in the world. But then after 4 or 5 years, I realized that I really like the strategy part. I would say this is one of my fortes as a professional. But you were just doing the analysis between mergers and acquisitions and IPOs of companies, but you were not there to do the execution. So you said, okay, so this company A will buy this company B, and this should have a synergy of X% because we're gonna touch this and that lines in the P&L balance sheets, but I wanted to be able to see the reality in my hands. That's when I did the summer internship at AB InBev, and I fell in love with the culture. I thought that the culture is exactly what I was looking for. So super smart people, people that are willing to do their best every day to get to where they want, a culture focused in meritocracy, and most important, a culture focused in winning together. So we are here working as a team to win together, to bring more cheers to the world. So I fell in love with the culture, and then since then I've been to so many roles at AB InBev, and then I'm here now. Very
how many countries have you worked in?
I've worked in 3 countries. So Brazil, the US, in New York, and now Zambia.
But with AB InBev, just New York and Zambia, right?
No, I started with AB InBev in Brazil.
In Brazil, okay.
Yeah, so I did my first good 5 to 6 years in Brazil. 5 years in Brazil, yeah.
Okay. And what would you say, so would you say this is like a career highlight for you?
I would definitely say this is a career highlight for me. It's the first time that I come to an African country. It's very different. It is the first time that I act as a managing director. My previous position was super important as well. I was the global vice president of digital, the frontline digital transformation. So I was able to be part of one of the people that helped to launch BEES, which is our digital transformation platform at ABI. It's one of the biggest marketplaces from companies in the world. It is from not mega marketplace in the world, but for FCGs I was the privileged to work there for 4 years, and to put together from the plan until the development of the product, development of the people. I launched BizForce, which was a product that I was responsible in over 20 countries, so
Yeah.
it was super important. And now, of course, I think being the MD here in Zambia has brought me, it's been a great privilege and opportunity, and it's not only helping me to grow professionally, but also personally.
Personally, yeah.
Yeah.
New challenges, right?
New challenges, yes.
So just for my research later, you said bees, B-E-E. I think I saw it on LinkedIn. It's
Yes,
yellow.
bees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
It's the marketplace at AB InBev. So
Okay.
today at AB InBev, we have more than 50% of our clients, they purchase our products digitally. We went to 70% now. We are the biggest expansion of clients in the world. We're bringing this to Africa now. So now we give our customers the opportunity to buy our products digitally, which gives them flexibility, gives them power, gives them better promotions. We can understand what each client wants, so we have better algorithms to help them. But most important, I think we empower them to make their decisions. They don't need to depend on anyone else. They just go online and buy it.
I'm guessing this is for like your corporate clients, right? Like your retail stores and
It's for everyone.
for everyone.
Everyone.
Okay.
All
So
the
you're really-
retailers.
So you're collecting a lot of data, eh?
A lot of data, yes.
Okay.
Which is super important to make sure that we understand our clients even better
Yeah.
and to drive the solutions that they actually really need.
Okay. That sounds interesting. Has that launched in Zambia?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Any
We're-
plans for launching in Zambia?
We're planning to launch in the next 2 years, maybe.
Okay. 3 years ago, I sat down with Michelle,
Okay.
your predecessor,
Yeah.
when she just came into the country. And I'm curious, now we've got another fantastic leader. So she was a female, obviously, and another female leader. I'm curious about what's the culture like in AB InBev in terms of promoting women in leadership and
AB InBev is focused in meritocracy.
okay.
So we hire and we promote based on meritocracy. I think this is the foundation of our company, and that's one of the values that I'm very proud of.
Okay. So the best person to do the job gets
Will
the
get
job.
the job, yeah.
Fantastic. And how did you end up choosing Zambia as a place to work? I mean, I'm just trying to now get into the, how does the international advancement policy work in AB? Did you choose Zambia or did...
I think Zambia chose
or
me.
did Zambia choose you?
Zambia chose me, so it's always a matter of the right person, the right fit with the right opportunity, the right time.
Yeah.
So my cycle was finishing in New York, and the position opened here, and it's been a great challenge for me, and it's been a challenging year for all of us. But we've been doing a lot of really good things as well. So it was the right time, the right opportunity. So I'm happy Zambia chose me, and I choose Zambia as well.
Yeah. So you came in January.
Yeah.
It's been about 8 months, 9
8
months.
months, yeah.
You're settled now. I want to just understand a little bit about the business.
Okay.
What have you seen as some of the biggest opportunities for the business, but also for yourself as a leader leading the business?
Mm-hmm.
And what are the challenges and sort of bottlenecks that you feel like you have to navigate in this new territory?
We are in a year that we are very focused on bringing profitability back to the company. Efficiency is profitability. So I think that we are doing a lot of things that are important to bring Zambian breweries to where we want it to be. Of course, it's been a challenging year, not only for Zambian breweries, but for many of the companies here in the country.
Yeah.
But we have been delivering good results. We have grown double digits as of now. So we've been doing a pretty good job in terms of delivering results in the first semester. And I think that's the biggest, and we have the support of the government. So I always say that it's lucky that I'm here because we have a democratic government, stable, that supports companies, supports big companies. So even though we're going through a crisis and load shedding hasn't been easy to any of us, of course, and has impacted our business, it has impacted our production. Of course, we could have grown much more than we did. The support of the government, having the right actions, I forecast that we're going to end the year better than last year, and next year it's going to be much better for all of us. And as for the biggest opportunity that you asked, I would say that even though we're the biggest brewery in Zambia, maybe the only one that manufactures here, we have a big competitor, which is illicit market. 70%, I mean that 70% of all the alcohol consumed in Zambia is illicit.
Do you know what those beers are called?
Junta, so we have a big program. I always say, we are not so bad by ourselves. We have 2/3, we are just 1/3 of our biggest competitor. So we have many initiatives. So we are trying to show people the importance of changing social behavior, that illicit, it's really bad for everyone. I always say that. It's bad for the government, because it's spending money in health, and it's not collecting taxes to help us to grow. It's bad for the brewers. It's bad for the retailers, because their margins are getting squeezed. But most importantly, that's what matters. It's bad for the consumers. People actually die out of illicit. So we recently, last week, launched Ego Extra. We should have had here.
I saw the sign. I saw the poster.
I should have been. We launched Ego Extra, which is an 8% ABV beer, which aims to go and to suit this part of the market that is being drained by the illicit alcohol.
Okay. That's one of the initiatives to really curb this junta spike, eh?
Exactly.
So so just touch a little bit more about Ego, because when I came in, I saw the branding. So maybe this might be a good opportunity to talk about it. So this one is targeted at the lower end?
I think it's interesting because I want you to try it. I brought it to my house. My friends loved it. They said, how can I find this? And I actually have right now a crate of Ego Extra. But you're correct. It is targets to the core population. So lower end and maybe mid.
Media.
But it's for people that want to drink a beer that are a little bit stronger, and they don't have another opportunity because all the other beers have lower ABV. So I would say that Ego Extra is for everyone. It's at the right price, 10 kwacha. So everyone would like to pay 10 kwacha for a beer. Super high quality. Super high quality and high ABV. And if you try, it's like, you even have the taste like a stronger beer, kind of high end. I really liked the liquid.
You touched a little bit on your goals. You talked about profitability, but I just want to zone in a little bit on that. So just sort of the corporate goals. It's obviously not just yourself, it's you and the team, right?
Yeah, of course.
But you've talked about profitabilities, so that's definitely one of your biggest goals, right? Profitability to what, pre-COVID levels? So
exactly. Back to 2019. That's exactly what we want to get. So we want to get to 2019 levels.
Okay. So I'm guessing during COVID, things went down quite significantly? During
COVID and during last years, we had a currency depreciation that it was relevant for us. So we want to get to pre-COVID levels nominally, that's what we say. So we have a big way to go. But I think we've done the right foundations this year to make sure that we are in the right path to get back to there in the next, maybe not next year, but in 2 years.
I'm very interested in something that, so obviously, this load shedding thing, it's the topic of thing, but
of course.
Before that, we've also got the drought. This has agricultural products in it. And I'm sure you source some of this from local farmers that are also struggling. How are you dealing with this as a company? First the energy, then the inputs.
It has not been easy, like it hasn't been easy for anyone. So of course, with the drought and the load shedding, we don't have as much energy. So our production has been reduced versus our targets, not necessarily versus last year, but versus what we would like it to be.
Yeah.
So we do have important impacts in production levels. However, we try to get this out with generators and make sure that our company works 24/7, 7 days a week. So we do have an impact, but we try to overcome with other ways, other opportunities, making sure we prioritize beer. But of course, we've been impacted. It's tough. It's tough for a brewery that size. The size, it's big.
Yeah. And in terms of sourcing, how much of your
terms of sourcing,
your inputs are you sourcing from local farmers? And
so the cassava from some of our products are sourced from local farmers, small farmers. It's an amazing project. I would say the illicit project and this project are the maybe two, and maybe there's two or more that I'm super proud of. We support more than 2,000 farmers, not only buying cassava, but also making sure that we educate them, we give them financial help. We created a digital bank called BankQ that we pay them at the moment that they give us the cassava. We give them transportation. We organize them in groups so we can buy at the right price. So we still buy that, and cassava is pretty resistant.
Yeah.
Of course, it lowered a little bit of the production.
Yeah.
So this we will see the impact next year because we buy the raw material for our beer. We gap of 1 year, and all the other products that we buy from local sourcing, so malt, sorghum. We are trying to find as much as we want. We want to buy everything that we can from Zambia. But if we don't find, and we are in the process now, I don't know how it's going to be exactly because it's for next year, we are going to have to see other avenues to match our necessity, but it has dropped.
Okay. Fantastic. I like the part about the platform. You said it's called what?
BankQ.
BankQ.
Yeah.
Which is also quite a financial, increasing access to financial.
Yes, because local farmers in Luapula province, northern province, they don't have access to all the banks that we have here in Lusaka, for instance.
Yeah.
So we provided this system, which we give them the education, we teach them how to do it, we give trainings, we give this financing to make sure that they get the money as soon as they need. So the cooperatives are super nice. I just visited them a month ago, and it was so nice to see them.
Fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about your leadership.
Okay.
So this is, like you said, your first time in leading a business. You talked earlier about the principles that you learned from your parents. Tell me about your leadership journey, your leadership style. What has that been like for you now, and what principles are you applying in leading the business?
So I would say my big thing is I always aim for excellency for me and for my team, but I think that it's not just asking for it, it's showing the way. So I always ask my team to make sure we don't work in silos, that they work collaborative. I am sure that 1 + 1, it's not 2. If we work in as a group, as a team, and everyone helps different areas. Imagine, Zambian Breweries is a very big company. We have the production team, logistics team, corporate affairs team, marketing team, sales team. We have all these different groups that if we act together, in the end, we all want the same thing. We want to bring a future of more cheers for Zambia. We want to grow as a business. We want to help Zambian community. We all want the same thing. So if we can make sure that we work together, I'm sure we're gonna get far. So I promote many different things for them to make sure that we are always together doing things. So we have weekly meetings that all the areas propose what they're doing and share what they're doing. And I really like to incentivize a culture that builds instead of destroys. So I didn't do this because of you. No, I didn't do this. And what's the solution for us to get from here to here? So I think collaboration is a super important topic for me. Excellency and discipline are super important as well, I think. And I think that hiring the right people and for the right jobs are also super important. So I think we have a high level of recruitment, and I love to see the people getting developed when they are in the job.
Yeah. What would you say is your leadership style? Are you more firm, let's do this, A, B, C, D, or do you let people sort of feel their way around?
I think it depends. It depends on the moment, it depends on the person, it depends on everything. I think you can't be either one or the other.
Okay.
So if you were too soft, people get lost.
Yeah.
So it's very important that we have a very clear vision and everyone knows where we are going. And for me, the most important is not where, so what we're doing, but why. So if you're doing A, B, C, D, why do we have to do that? Why do we need to work these two things? Why did we launch Ego Extra? Why? Because launching a new product, it's hard. It takes us a lot of things. It takes us more than a year to launch. But why are we launching an Ego Extra? So I always like to give a clear vision and explain why we're doing what we're doing. So on this, I think I need to be very clear and straightforward. On the other side, I think each person is different. So if you treat this one person that has these skills in the same way you treat this other person that has completely different style, it's gonna be a lose-lose.
Yeah.
I truly believe in win-win relationships. So, and I believe a lot in trust. So if there's a person that wants to have lots of meetings with me so I can get closer, it's fine. If there's a person that doesn't want as many meetings, but just want little advice, I'm fine as well. In the end, if we get to the same with the result,
It's about the goal.
it's about being result-oriented and getting the outcome.
I love that point about not focusing on the target, but the big question is why. So it's like this purpose-driven leadership.
And that's super interesting because a lot of times people, they just, what do you need to do? A, okay, I'm gonna go out of the room. No. You're gonna listen why. Because in 2 minutes, you're gonna come asking me another question. And if you understand the why we're doing this, probably won't.
So from you did an MBA, right?
Yeah,
Where did you do it?
in Chicago, in the US.
Okay. Yeah, I always wonder what those programs are like, eh?
Yeah, they're very
So
nice.
strategy, so you
Super focused
you
on
could
strategy, super focused
develop
in,
a proper strategy.
yeah.
So like to do your strategy, did you bring in consultants for your strategy?
For my strategy
Yes,
here?
like here, yeah.
No. We have a very good team, so we don't usually only use our team here in Zambia. So we have a lot of people in South Africa, which is our zone, and globally, which was my previous role, to help all the countries. So we don't need external consultants.
Yeah.
We have our own team that helps us and bring best practices from different countries. So this has worked here in this type of environment.
Yeah.
This doesn't work. So they give us the guidelines and help us to build the strategy. But in the end, we are dependent on our team here locally because we are the ones that
Got the local
are
context.
experts in the economy, in the country, in the challenges and what's the growth opportunities. We are the ones that can nationalize the strategy that comes from global.
So I want to talk a little bit about your personal life.
Okay.
Settling down in Zambia. You have obviously moved from what we called before we started chatting, the concrete jungle of New York.
Yes.
Now you're in Lusaka.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you've settled down in Lusaka. Where are you staying right now in Lusaka?
I'm in Yukasama.
How's that?
I'd say that I love waking up with the birds. I came from exactly what I said, the jungle, concrete jungle. I lived in Manhattan, so in the middle of the city, close to Times Square. So I lived in Upper West Side. And now I live in Yukasama. It's kind of a farm life.
Yeah.
I wake up with the birds every day. It's so nice. I have my house in New York was so small. Here we have space.
We've got yards. We call them yards, right?
We have like a little space.
Yeah.
I get my food from local farmers. So you have this beauty of living, and in one hand, New York is super fast-paced. People are super driven on their own thing and what they're gonna do. While here, it's slow-paced. People have time to chat.
Yeah.
We don't have 10 things to do in one day. Maybe you have 10 things to do in the month.
Yeah.
So it's very different from the lifestyle that I had in New York.
Yeah. What do you normally get up to, let's say like on a Saturday in, you know, what are some of your hobbies?
So on a Saturday, I have a very fixed routine. I like that. I like to be
What's your routine?
So because my work it's so every day it's so different
Yes.
with my life, I like to, so my routine is on a Saturday. I wake up around 5:36. I have a running
You wake
group.
up at 5:30. Okay.
I have
because
a
of the
running group.
Okay.
Yes. So there is like a Lusaka National Park. It's close to my house. So we go and we run kind of inside in the tracks, inside in the forest there.
Trail
So
running.
we call it the Forest Run Group. So I always wake up there. When I go back, my husband is waking up, so he makes coffee. My dog is waking up. I have a little puppy that I love so much that I brought, so it's here. We usually go to have like breakfast in a nice place. So Sugar Bush that I saw that in Quasi you guys interviewed. I go there a lot. I go to some other restaurants around, so we like to have a nice brunch. Then I probably go get my nails done and do some manicure. And then I buy some flowers. I love to have my house full of flowers. So that's my Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Peaceful Saturday.
Peaceful Saturday,
Yeah.
Okay. And you talked about in the beginning your love for reading.
Yes.
Right? What do you read? What was the last book you read?
Oof. I usually read not one book at a time. I have different.
Moving about.
Yes, so I usually have one that I recently read. It's one. What's the name of the author? If I knew you were gonna ask me that, I would have memorized.
No, it's fine.
But it's a Zambian author.
Okay.
That talks about her life in Lake Tanganyika. So she
I think I've seen that book.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've seen that book.
Let me-
Does it have a yellow cover?
Yes, it does have a yellow cover. Let me get the name.
Get the name.
So I can tell, because it's a good book, but I'm going to tell the interesting part because it's related to a question that you just asked me.
Okay.
Reflections on the Lake,
Yes.
Living 7 Years on Lake Tanganyika. The author is Victoria Findlay.
I've seen that book, yeah.
So
Tell me about it.
the interesting thing that I really liked, so she's telling her life from Lusaka, moving all the way to Lake Tanganyika, which is a place I'm crazy to go. I will definitely go sometime soon.
You should.
It's supposed to be beautiful, right?
There's a bunch of waterfalls up there in the north, eh?
I mean, I heard the fishing, it's supposed to be beautiful.
Yeah.
But I thought it was super interesting because she's talking about the fast-paced life in Lusaka, and then she goes to Lake Tanganyika, and it's slow-paced, and it's a little bit of what I was living in Lusaka. So she's leaving from Lusaka, and I'm going to Lusaka.
So you wonder what it will be like. If you think Lusaka is slow, that will probably be very like...
Yeah, but it's super interesting. But having the point of view of a Zambian, talking about Zambia, it's super interesting. The culture shocks that she has, the learnings that she has, talking about the culture. So that was super interesting. I'll tell you two more that I like.
Okay.
Because I love reading, that's true.
And then I'll recommend one to you as well.
I love recommendation.
Yeah.
So another one that I loved, let me see which one I'm going to choose. Okay. I'm going to say Left to Tell, Discovering God Amidst Rwandans. Super well-written book as well.
Discovering God Amongst Rwandans.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a survivor of, a woman survivor of the Rwandan genocide. Super interesting, and she says she's talking about her point of view of the survival. And she talks a lot about these 3 months. She lost obviously everyone, like most of the survivors of the genocide, but she's telling her point of view of the story. So she's survived with other 7 women in a super small bathroom from someone that let them live there. She lost so much weight, but she lost everything when and the part that I loved about the book is that she said that she's a happy person nowadays because she was able to forgive everyone.
Okay.
So it talks a lot about living
That's
extreme
powerful.
situation, but about forgiveness as well. Because there's so many times we go through something and we're like, we hold some grudges. Man, this woman lost parents, brother, sister, everything.
Yeah.
And she was able to do this. So I thought it's super powerful for our daily lives, our professional life. How can you be able to go with a very strong mindset, survive a lot of things, and be able to let things go, because that's hard. And the last one that I'm going to tell you, it's Indra Nui. It's one of my
I've read it.
My Life in Full.
I've read it.
You did?
I have.
I
I've
love
read
this
it.
book.
It's a beautiful
I'm a big
book.
fan of her.
Yeah. PepsiCo.
PepsiCo. She's
I've
one
read
of
that
the
book.
most important
Yeah.
female CEOs.
Yeah.
So I recently read as well.
There's a cool story in the Indra book where she just gets promoted to CEO. She walks into the house. I don't know if you remember that story.
Tell me.
Where her
Mother-in-law?
Yes, her mother-in-law tells her, go get the milk.
Yes.
She's so frustrated. I've just been promoted,
Yeah.
and my mother is telling me to go buy milk. So she goes and buys milk. And when she comes back, her mother tells her, you have to leave your ego at the door or something like that.
Yeah.
When you come back in this house, you're a mother,
Yeah.
etc. And I just thought that was her perspective on all the different roles that she played.
Exactly.
She was a mother, she was a leader, she was
Yeah.
community, well, like a person in the community as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend 2 books to you.
I'm gonna take
The first
notes,
one
okay.
is Zambia, the First 50 Years
Okay.
by
Nice.
Andrew Sadanis. He's late now.
Okay.
That's a fantastic book because it will really give you context on the country.
Uh-huh.
Zambia, the First 50 Years.
Okay.
I think you'll love that. It will really just help you understand Zambia. He
Cool.
starts, so we got independence in 1964. And he started, 24th October 1964, we got our independence. And he starts the book in 1963 because he was there until 50 years.
Nice.
The second one is titled How to Write About Africa.
I've heard about this.
By a Kenyan writer
Nice.
called Binyavanga Wanaina.
Very
You should
nice.
read those 2.
I will definitely do.
So, let's talk about mentorship.
Okay.
Have you had any mentors in your journey?
I did. I had
Okay.
many
Tell me about your
mentors.
yeah.
I think that when you come the vision of mentor, you always think about someone older and that has more experience. And I've had that for sure. But I feel that mentors are everywhere. I had some people in my teams that were my mentors, that helped me to guide me through difficult moments of my life. I had personal people in my family, so my dad or my brother that helped me to guide to moments of difficulty. So, and I also had mentors, women, female, very empowered females that helped me. So I view mentorship as not as the status quo and this paradigm that we see, but I think we can have mentors everywhere for different things in our lives.
Yeah. What would you say is one of the biggest lessons you've learned from any mentor of yours?
One of the biggest lessons that I've learned, I would say it's from my father, which is enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey. Because if you're always looking at the next step, you're never present and living where you are now. So always know where you're going, always be result oriented, always have a very clear long-term view on, because you are the one writing your narrative, you are the one guiding your future, but most importantly, be present.
Be present.
Enjoy the journey.
Yeah. So this is a high-stress job. Mm-hmm. You're balancing a lot of things.
Yes, many plates.
And there's, mental health is a real thing, right? How do you balance your own mental health, the mental health of your team, and what are some of your coping mechanisms to just keep it all
I think
balanced?
I have a great support system. So I'm a lucky person. I think you build your own luck. You can see it very different angles, but I have my husband here with me. Okay. So my husband is an entrepreneur. He has his company in Brazil, and he works from Zambia. And I have my dog, so those 2 are always with me. I'm lucky to have them. They are my big support system. I have family and friends that I'm very lucky to have. So I recently went back to Brazil to visit my family, and I saw all my friends. It was so good to see that. And I think another very important coping mechanism is it's doing exercise.
Okay.
So I'm very disciplined with exercise.
Yeah.
I don't let it go at all. So I run 2 or 3 times a week. I'm playing some tennis now. I do some strength. I'm always doing something that I think it's important to make me sane. And I think when I'm sane, I make my team sane as well. It's like it's a virtual cycle. If you're positive, you bring positivity. So
the last question would be, what are 5 pieces of advice?
5.
We can do 3.
Okay, no, I can do 5. It's fine.
What pieces of advice would you give to your younger self?
Okay.
Knowing what you know now.
I would say be focused and result-oriented. But don't worry so much. Everything's going to be fine. The second one would be build strong relationships. Those are the ones that are going to be with you in the good moments, but also in the hard situations that happen more frequently than not. So build strong relationships.
Yeah.
Be disciplined and work hard for your dreams. Nothing comes for free.
Absolutely.
I would tell myself that explore the world, meet new people, and learn.
Yeah.
And then I would say finally enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Thais, this was fantastic.
Thank you. It was fantastic for me too.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, Zambian Breweries.
Thank you.
And yeah, looking forward. Good luck in your new role.
Thank you.
It's been 1 year already, but all the best going forward.
Thank you.
Wish you the best.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Cheers.
Cheers.